and I'm speaking very, very advisedly. Corruption is rife in our public life. The police, and each time a new police helmsman comes on board, go and check it out. One of the things he promises he's going to do is that he's going to fight corruption. There's an acknowledgement that there's corruption in the force. So if policemen are not able to resist that at the station, is it when they are on the field, on special assignment, when they are not sobered by the occasion, when they feel that this is the time to make quick money, this is the time politicians are making money, this is the time lawyers are making money in election petitions, this is the time people are getting... So why shouldn't policemen make their own money? As it is said in local parlance, what is good for the souls? Good for the guns. As the Yoruba will put it, killer officiality no kioshe. You know the meaning? So what is good for the chimpanzee or a monkey, it should be good for the chimpanzee or like that. So it is, or a gorilla, right? So others are making their money. Politicians are moving big bucks all over the place. They are lifting them. And you want to tell policemen not to make money? You will be kidding yourself. So we will need to do more than coming on air, and I'm talking about Nigeria as a people, to decry or declaim these monstrosities. We will have to spend quality time as a people. Because I keep saying this, and I speak about this passionately. I am poignantly conscious of the time of the black man in the sun. Other peoples are making progress. We will need to make progress, not only for ourselves, not only for our generation, for generations yet unborn. And this thing can be done. You know, when God created man, and I'm going philosophical here, he gave man everything, all the entitlement, the enablement to make his life good in pursuit of happiness. He gave us everything. So it can't be right that we are helpless. It can't be right that we think that we are helpless, we are jinxed, we can't do more than we're doing currently. This is our own level of civilization. This is how far we can develop. I don't accept that. If you go back to our history, you see great exploits. You see how our people mobilize themselves and broke the jibes, the chains of colonialism in this country. You see how young people coming from England were writing books and all that. People are talking about low turnout, and I think that you'll be talking about that. Look, where is the visionary, the inspirational, the inspiring leadership at all levels in the political system? You know, before the wonder of television, before it became this pervasive, and political parties are now being held on television everywhere, you know what people were doing? They will travel long distances to listen to the oratory of Zik, to listen to the depth and the economic wizardry of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. You know, reeling out the figures and all that. In those days, he would travel overseas, and then when he will return, he will then hold a world press conference and say that this is what is going to happen to the economy. And people were calling him, they were ascribing to him the power of a prophet. Yes, that's how serious-minded they were. People wanted to listen to them speak. Even if all that you are enamored of is listening to flowery speeches, is seeing the oratorical prowess of politicians. Look, for days now, the closing statement of Congressman Comey during the hearing that was conducted in the United States was all over the world. Passion, sincerity, good intellectualism, deep and profound exhibition of knowledge of the subject. What do you see here? Inanities. Even in our electionary process, singing all sorts of songs. As far back as 2003 or so, 2007, in Ekiti, a young man then, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dimeji Bankole, and it's on record, went there and started singing campaign trail. Aolo soja o, awatawa lo mopo lojosi aolo so. We used mopo the other time. This time around, we are going to use soldiers. So it's not just this time they are using soldiers. So we will need to sit back. Our people will need to be at the epicenter, because you see, the flood won't hesitate to sweep away the house or the tenement of the house owner. It is the house owner, ahead of the storm of the flood, that will ensure that he guides his house in such a way that that house is not swept away. In other words, the point I'm making is that politicians will do anything to access power or retain power. The people must be able to find their commonality. I know we're divided. I know that we're facing a lot of, economic crisis. I know that Nigeria is facing a lot of personal issues. But we must find a way to come together and save our society, and save our country, and save our future, not just for ourselves, but for our children. If you look at the state of insecurity in the country, which makes no sense of the expectation that you can have an island of electoral security in an ocean of insecurity in the country. If you look at the state of insecurity in the country, everywhere you turn, if you want to travel by road, even if you want to know your country, people dissuade you. All the foreigners that are here shun out travel advice to their foreigners, to their citizens every day. Don't travel to this part. Don't travel to this part. We are ensconced in our cities. We can't go to where we come from. The state of insecurity is so much that it is fallen hope for you to then expect that, oh, because of election, those who make our country insecure will respect election, It's like a Christmas day. They won't cause violence. You're kidding yourself. So we will need to rethink all this if we want the electoral system next time around to function for all of us. And unfortunately, the reports coming from the field, can be very disturbing, almost overwhelm you. Or just say somebody, a member of representative, was killed yesterday. In the United States, that's a congressman, right?
Yes.
He was killed, just like that. And others have been killed. The other time I was here, in the studio, and I was looking at Chamberlain. I said, we're all here. We're discussing the election in perspective. And I said, Chamberlain is there, yes. I said, we're here now. Do you know that tomorrow, some people who are alive today will die, even without their knowing it? And he said, yes, yes, you're right, you're right. It was predictable. People go into an election and they get killed, or they go kill some other people. We are not beasts. We are human beings endowed with all the qualities of Homo sapiens. We shouldn't be doing this to ourselves. And so we will need to find a way. There's several suggestions, including maybe a one-time thing, so that you don't have people, wanting to go to sustain themselves in power. Maybe it's a system. It was President Goodluck Jonathan that suggested that. And so people just say, what is he talking about? I think that we will need to sit back and rethink all these processes.
All right, Mr. Ogunye, we definitely will be rethinking these processes, but of course we'll have to start from somewhere. Maybe look at these things in perspective. But for now, well, it's the 10th of March, 2019. And of course, it's about the state governorship and state House of Assembly elections. And of course, earlier in the day, some active fold out in the field where our correspondents were keeping tabs, and this time around we'll be returning to Imo State in the southeast of the country, where our correspondent Tokwe Kuteyi monitored the events there, and of course we'll be taking a retrospective look at what he had to say. That's Imo State and Tokwe Kuteyi.